Hello everyone and welcome to the April 2022 Energetic Insights. For those of you guys that don't know me, my name is Depika Mistry and I'm an intuitive guide, energy healer, coach and a consultant. And for over 2 years now, I've been sharing these insights on a month-by-month basis. And it's really geared up for those of you guys that are becoming more and more consciously aware of your intuitive and energetic abilities and are looking for some practical guidance to help you to navigate your way through. So if that sounds like you, welcome, you're here at the right place. So, how are you feeling? How did you find the energies of March? April feels a little bit different. It's still going to be quite intense, but there's going to be an energy that feels quite supportive as we move through April. The key words that I got for April was digesting and preparation. So it feels that we're going to be digesting the energies, especially February and March this month. So we're going to have some time and some space to actually really digest the energies that we had to move through over the last 2 months. But also there is a sense of preparation. So they're both happening at the same time. So it will still feel quite intense, but the sense of intensity will be different to March and February. And I think one of the key things is to know that this whole year is going to be pretty intense, and it's for us to kind of find different ways to kind of navigate these waves of intensities that is coming through, rather than feeling that we are a victim. So hopefully I will share some tools that will help you to kind of just surrender and accept that this is intense, that's okay, it's some way, somehow helping me. And if you always have that perspective, you'll be able to navigate the energies just that little bit more, with a little bit more of ease. So it's not to say it will be easy, but you'll be able to actually just allow yourself to navigate it rather than fight it. There is also a sense of new levels of awareness it's going to be switched on. So it's almost like I'm getting these switches that's been switched on of new levels of awareness. What that will bring for us is that we'll have a greater sense of the universe. We will also start to see ourselves and the world around us in a whole different new way. It's not like we haven't seen it that way, but there's a new level of awareness, a new level of seeing, new level of knowing. So it's the same thing, but it's almost more fine tuning of that knowing and that seeing that you already have. So that is going to be quite expansive this month. The other two things that I got as a summary of this month is that some of you guys may find yourself experiencing quite a bit of inner conflict, or just conflict energy will be showing up on your doorstep. And always take conflict energy as an opportunity to kind of just hold space for yourself. And oftentimes when we get that inner conflict is when two aspects of ourselves are just not quite in alignment. They have maybe different views, maybe they have different purposes, maybe they have different expectations. So there's an opportunity just to hold space for that. And for some of you guys, it may also be that it may not be the two different aspects, but externally you may be presented with 3 or 4 different choices, and then the inner conflict comes out. So just hold space for yourself, and I'll talk a little bit more about this in one of the themes this month. And finally, just breathe. It's going to be so important to connect with your breath, to connect with your body, and make sure that you're grounded in the moment, in this present moment, because it's going to be intense in a different way. And the more grounded you are, the more you're going to be able to navigate these energies and take advantage of it as well. Okay, before we move on to the first theme, let's take a moment to recap the themes for March. And they were cycles are completing, heart activation, cosmic timelines, and body consciousness. And I feel like the theme of the heart activation, and I feel that the heart activation, the heart energy has been moving through us in different waves, the best way I can explain it, in different ways from January, February, March, just new different angles. And we've got another heart energy theme this month as well. So if any of those themes resonate with you, do go back and check that out. Okay, let's move on to the first theme for this month. And the first theme for this month is called Reevaluate and Reset. And it feels like things are being reshuffled on a conscious, on a collective level and on a personal level. So the image that I got was one of a deck of cards, and when you're shuffling the deck of cards, and what the guide says, if you're shuffling a deck of cards, pay attention to the card that drops out of the deck, that just pops out of the deck. So those of you guys that do tarot or have tarot cards, maybe give your deck of cards a shuffle and see what drops out. But really, this is just a metaphor of paying attention of what pops up, what pokes you, what just shows up, what's in your face, what is aggravating you. So pay attention to that, because there's something, what's happening with the reshuffling is where things are out of alignment. It's almost going to feel like it's poking you or wanting you to see it, so that you can either clear it out or readjust it or reevaluate it, see if it has a purpose, or let it go. So it's going to feel quite interesting, this theme, as we're going through the reevaluation. And oftentimes when we are reevaluating our life, there is a sense of confusion. So it may feel like you don't know whether you're coming, whether you're going, whether you should turn left or you should turn right, or you should go forward or you should go back or stand still. I don't know. What do I do? So there may be a sense of confusion, and that is okay. Therefore, the grounding is going to be so key this month, and being centered and using your breath to connect with your body and to ground. And I'll walk you through an exercise in one of the other themes, so you can use that as you go through this month. Also with this theme is that it's a great opportunity to really reevaluate your priorities and your values. So they're two slightly different things, and oftentimes we don't hold that space for ourselves to reevaluate our priorities or our values. And this is on a spiritual level, an emotional level, a mental level, and a physical level. So it's combining all of those things, because oftentimes we may have a mental priority list. We may put the spiritual part of ourselves on the side, or we may kind of prioritize our physical aspects of ourselves versus the spiritual aspects. So I think this is a combination of really getting those various different aspects, the spiritual, the emotional, the mental, and the physical, and prioritizing them as an integrative whole. So and that also includes the values. So on a practical level, if none of this makes sense, or this feels really overwhelming for you and not knowing where to start, maybe just start by spring cleaning. And it can just be spring cleaning one drawer in your home, or one room in your home, or just making one room tidy. And sometimes making the bathroom tidy, because it's the smallest one, is sometimes the easiest, or just one drawer in your office or something like that. And that will start to get the energy flowing and moving and help you out a little bit more with this theme. Okay, I have a practical exercise here where you can have a look at your priorities and your values and just follow the steps in this. So I'm going to do this for priorities, but you can switch out the priorities for values, and it's exactly the same thing. So the first thing is just list your priorities. Don't worry about ordering them. What are your priorities? Is your priorities the kids? Is your priorities taking time out to watch Netflix? Is your priorities work? Is your priorities exercise? What are your priorities? What's on your list of priorities? And there's no right, there's no wrong. Just list them out. Do not bother ordering them. Just intuitively write them out. Then for all the ones that you've listed out, just kind of sit with each one of them. And say the first one was children as being one of the priorities. You sit with that and you allow yourself to feel whether you're in alignment with that or not, right? It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with that priority list. Just feel into that. What does it feel? Does it feel like you're in alignment, or does it feel like you're out of alignment with that priority? And then those that, you kind of mark off and say, well, I think I might be out of alignment with that. Put that to one side. Right? So then you've created space there. And then kind of sit with yourself and say, okay, is there anything else I would like to add to it? Maybe one of the priorities is me, taking greater care of myself, making more time for me, to have a bath, to have self-care practice. Add whatever you feel is right for you to add on. Okay? And then once you've done that, is kind of sit with that list of priorities. Or if you're doing the values, sit with the list of values and ask yourself, how does this feel? So you kind of allow yourself to go into like this form of visioning. So just visualize, how does it feel if you were to live by this priority? Does it feel expansive? Does it feel contractive? Do you feel excited? Do you feel depressed? Do you feel afraid? What are you feeling as you sit with this list? Okay. And just notice it there. Again, there's no right or wrong. Again, you're just raising your level of awareness. And then try it out. Try it out. So you got your list, and the next day you just say, right, I'm going to actually practically do this. I'm going to live by this, and see how it feels. Right? And again, there's no right or wrong, and you might feel like you're grating against something. Again, just become aware of it, and also give yourself permission to change something that doesn't feel right. You don't have to wait for the next day. You can change it there and then. So what you're doing is really training that muscle to be really in alignment. I feel like we're going to be training our alignment muscle. Therefore, we're constantly be reevaluating and resetting ourselves as and when we feel we need it. So I feel this is a really, really great tool for this month, because it's like a moment to moment by moment reevaluation and resetting ourselves, and just seeing what pops up or pokes us in the ribcage. All right, let's move on to the second theme. And the second theme is called acceptance, compassion, and kindness. Again, this is linked to another new wave of heart energy that is going to be moving through us this month. And it may feel really, really, really intense, because it's going to show us where we lack acceptance, where we lack compassion, and where we lack kindness. This is, we're going to see it in ourselves, where we don't accept ourselves, where we are not compassionate to ourselves, where we're not being kind to ourselves. And this is taking us to another deeper level of self-acceptance, compassion, and kindness. And the more we can give that to ourselves, the easier it's going to be for us to kind of share that energy, share compassion, share acceptance, share kindness with people around us. So it is a really, really deep, deep, deep energy this month. So when it moves through us, some of you guys are going to have physical response to this. So you might experience as a dull heartache, or heart palpitations, or it may feel like a little bit of anxiety that's kind of popping up. You may get a sensation where you feel like your heart is dropping into your belly, or you feel like you're checking out of your body into your mind space or somewhere else outside. So just pay attention to that as this heart energy moves through. Show and just take note where you might be bullying yourself, when you may be hard on yourself, when you're judging yourself. Those are great opportunities to bring in more compassion, more kindness, and more acceptance. And maybe have a look at where you may be loathing yourself. There's an energy of self-loathing that's going to be showing up. And that's why this is going to be quite tough for some of us, because it's going to show our shadow aspects, the parts of ourselves that we shame, that we hide, that we loathe. And it's bringing the energy of acceptance, kindness, and compassion to those parts of ourselves, because the more we can do it for ourselves, the more we're able to share that energy with those around us. What the guides were saying is that this is going to feel, sometimes you may feel like your heart is being rewired. So therefore, that's why we may have those physical symptoms as well. And there is a sense of expansion. So when our heart energy is expanding, we can also feel this sense of, just overwhelming sense of love, that we just want to love on everyone. So allow that to move through you. So we will feel like that. So you've got the two kind of polarities that are going to be moving through. There's an exercise here that I want to kind of walk you through that will help you to kind of really anchor in this energy. And it's really to put your hands on your hips. So put your hands on your hips like that, with your feet hip width apart. Really stand tall and strong. Right? And then imagine taking a breath up through the soles of your feet. So you're breathing up through the soles of your feet. Imagine the breath coming up into your belly, and then really just anchoring into your heart center. And then as you just become aware of your breath, and just keeping your hands on your hips, just imagine this beautiful, beautiful light, pale green light, just like a really circular, just moving in circles around your heart center. Right? And then when you're ready, just allow the energy to pulse. So it just kind of pulses like this, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And this beautiful light is just pulsing back and forth like this. And you can use your breath, your inhale and your exhale. So you can slow it down, or you can make it quicker, whatever feels good and comfortable for you. And then as you're doing that, and if you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. Use your exhale to release what's ready to be released. You don't need to know what it is, just use your exhale. So allow the pulsating sensation to cleanse your energy, to cleanse your body, to cleanse your mind, to cleanse your heart, right? And as you breathe in, just allow yourself to bring in more of this beautiful pale green loving energy into your heart space, and kind of just pulse it out, and then see how that works for you. See how that goes. And you don't have to keep your hands on your hips, but I think there's something here about really anchoring into the earth center and then working with this heart energy. And play with them. If it doesn't feel right for your hands on your hips, just keep them there. And it could be when you're on a call, on a conference call, you can pulsate that energy out. Or you feel someone needs some love, you can just sink into your heart center and pulsate that energy out. So give it a go, play with it, and see what works for you. Okay, my throat is getting blocked up here now. I need to clear it, and it's really interesting because of the next scene that we're going into. Okay, so the third theme is called holding space. And this one is going to feel, there's two different aspects to this. And it will show up in two different ways. One, which is about taking the time and creating that, holding space for yourself where you just need to be held in whatever is showing up. That's one thing. And for some of us, it will feel like we are being held in a holding space. So it's about holding space for yourself and noticing whether you're being held in a holding space. So this is really an opportunity this month to slow down. It's an opportunity to really self-regulate ourselves, to soothe ourselves. Because if you think about the last 2 months, it's been so intense that we've been so overwhelmed. It's almost like our energetic system has been overfried, and we're like, oh my goodness, we're kind of running. This is a time to really allow that to just sink in, to integrate with it, and you'll allowing yourself to find different mechanisms that will help to soothe you, to calm your nervous system. Because if you're feeling on edge, this is a great time just to take a moment to say, I need to just hold myself. I need to hold space for myself. Right? And if you find yourself in a holding space, and many of us, when we're in a holding space, we're like, nope, I need to go, I don't know why I'm holding, and we get this kind of rush and impatience. So be patient as well with this. This is an opportunity to really recognize the aspects of ourselves that is on edge, and aspects of ourselves that gets fired up, that's just ready to go. It's like, whoa, I'm about to go. So it's recognizing that and holding space for that, so it brings that level of calmness to it. So because this theme is really about self-soothing, there's some tools and tips here that you can use to help to really soothe yourself and self-regulate. So what you're doing with this is giving yourself permission to really integrate with the shifts and the changes that you've experienced over the last 2 months, and you'll be experiencing some of that this month. So this is a bit where it's around, digesting everything, but also preparation as well. So it links both of the two things together. Meditation is going to be one of the really powerful tools this month, to kind of really sit in meditation, even if it's 5 minutes, because that will just kind of allow you to focus on your breath and allow you to focus on just letting go. Breath work is going to be really important, and you can do this wherever you are, whatever it is that you're doing. Just take moments throughout your day to connect with your breath. Take a few deep breaths, and using your inhales to fill you up with love and light, and using your exhales to release whatever needs to be released. The other thing that I got was Epsom salt baths would be nice, self-soothing thing here. Massages, especially Esalen massage. So if you haven't heard of that, do go ahead and Google that. There's with Esalen massage, because it's such long, soft, soothing strokes. Hawaiian massage just popped into my head. So the Lomi Lomi massage. There's something about self-soothing. It's that rolling sensation. So when you're in the ocean and the waves are kind of, there's something that's quite soothing when we're in this kind of rocking motion. So that is going to be really, really cool. You can also do the exercise that we did in theme 2. Walks in nature will be really powerful. And oh, here's something, two different things. One, you can create a bubble of love. So you can imagine that you are creating this beautiful bubble of love around you and you walk around in a love bubble. See how that feels. Play with it again. Somatic body work will be really good. Again, that's really great for calming down the nervous system. And dry brushing. I know that sounds a bit bizarre, but if you haven't tried it, there's some practical things that you can do. So not everything's going to resonate with you. And if nothing resonates, just ask yourself, what do I need to soothe myself? What do I need? What do I need? Okay. And remember, don't push and don't force. If you're finding yourself pushing and forcing, just like, oh, just recognize it. And if you find yourself needing to rush, again, recognize it, because all of this stuff will come up, and it's about holding that space for yourself to recognize what is showing up and allowing yourself to bring in more of the energy of calmness there. Okay. There is one other thing here, which is, oh yes, that was the other thing here. It may feel like you want to rush. And the reason why you may want to rush is because you know that something is birthing. So as with any birth, you know that a child comes when a child's ready to come. So do not push, just kind of recognize it, be patient, and just hold that space for yourself. Okay, there is something birthing. That's why there's this kind of preparation energy that's going, but at the same time, we need that space to kind of digest whatever it is that we need to digest as well. Okay, let's move on to the fourth and final theme. And this one is called sensory overload. So it's not surprising that our senses are going to be overloaded, because there is another expansion that's happening, especially when it comes to the heart energy, when that is expanding. And, you know, throughout this year, and I've mentioned it around the cosmic light frequency shifts, we are constantly and continuously expanding. We are constantly being upgraded energetically. And some of those shifts are really, really subtle, and some of them are quite big. So just know that it's happening and just be aware of it, because our senses are going to feel quite overloaded, and it'll feel like we're quite overwhelmed. And the reason for this is there's a lot more of our senses that are going to be coming online. So those of you guys that are intuitives or do energy work could be able to fine tune a lot of your senses to be able to pinpoint and pick up things. And if you're not in that work, you'll just get a greater awareness of your senses, aware of your sensations, that the felt senses, you know. What are you feeling? What are you sensing? What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you tasting? So it's really getting into the various different senses. It's all kind of coming online and integrating with your body. So I feel that for many of us, it's going to be the sensing that we're experiencing through our bodies. Okay, so some of the symptoms of this can be and could be like a sense of dizziness, a ringing in your ear, feeling like you have a cold, like you got a runny nose, but you're not having a cold, and maybe it lasts half a day, or maybe you wake up feeling like that, and then once you brush your teeth and had a shower, it's totally gone. So just become aware of it. It's the upgrade process, and it's the integration to your physical body of the various different frequencies that's been moving through us over the last couple of months. You may wake up feeling overly tired, even if you've had 8 or 9 hours sleep. Your dreams might be a little bit weird, or feel like they're memories, or not really remembering, or having even more vivid dreams. Just pay attention to that and write that down, because there may be some messages in there for you. For some of you guys, you might be experiencing headaches or migraines and the need to have a nap during the day. So just allow yourself to do that as and when you can. And some of you guys may also experience brain fog, and there may be other symptoms that I have not listed here. So just pay attention to the physical symptoms that you might be having. And it's just giving you a clue that something's integrating or happening, or something's trying to shift out of you. Because if you think about it, as the new frequencies kind of come in, as we're being upgraded, the old stuff needs to come out. So some of these symptoms represents old stuff that's coming out. Some of these symptoms are just helping us to align to these new frequencies. And our physical bodies has never experienced these frequencies. So we are likely to experience physical symptoms as well. So take it slow, be compassionate. Again, it's all the themes from this month. Do not push yourself, hold that space for yourself, be gentle. Also, movement will be great just to help move your body. So doing something like yoga, to do yoga, tai chi, shiatsu's coming up, I don't know, but that's more of a body work. But just bring in movement into your life, and it could be a gentle walk, it could be dancing. Just bring in that kind of movement into it. Or qigong, that was the one that I was looking for. And for some of you guys, it may be that you might need to change your food or what you're drinking, and just pay attention to see what your body is needing in that moment. And with the sensory overload, it can feel quite overwhelming, because if you think about it, the volume is being turned up, the sharpness is being turned up, so you're going to sense and feel things and see things and hear things with a greater sense of clarity. So initially that will feel a little bit odd to you, so it can be quite overwhelming. So just take it easy. And yes, as for some of you guys, this is a really cool thing about it. You'll also feel more of a connection with your guides, with the universe, and you'll find that you may be flowing a lot more easier. And as you flow, things are manifesting a lot more quicker. So there's all sorts of amazing things that's going to happen. So again, it's the digesting and the preparation for what is to come. And I feel that this month is a great opportunity just to slow down and to chill. So I have hoped you've enjoyed the insights of this month. If you have, do share this with your loved ones and your friends and your families and your colleagues. Feel free to leave a comment below. And if you're watching this on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. And if you're watching this on Facebook or on Instagram, leave us a heart. And then if you haven't already done so, do go ahead to the YouTube channel, which I'll put a link below, and do subscribe and follow, and you'll get the notifications when these insights go live. And then if you're needing extra support, or you would like to receive some healing this month, then come and join the energetic alignment session. And it's taking place on Sunday, the 24th of April at our usual time, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and 6 p.m. UK time. And the theme this month is called Holding Space. So I look forward to seeing those of you guys there. Otherwise, I will see you all next month. Take care and have a great April. Okay, bye for now.